So Friedman has always made my favorite amps. I own a BE100. I've owned a Runts. I've played the Dirty Shirley, fell in love with it. I've played the Twin Sister, fell in love with it. All of them, man. I love all of them. The only problem, I think, is the same problem with all tube amps, is they're massive, they're loud, and they're a little impractical in the modern era, especially with modeling amps out there. On top of going through my fair share of tube amps, I've also gone through all the digital options too. So I've had two Axe-Fx's now. I've had a Kemper. I've had the Universal Audio pedals. I've gone through all of them, and they're great, but maybe I'm a snob, but I miss the tube experience. But when Friedman dropped the IRD unit, I was super excited about this for a couple reasons. Now, it is all tube. It's an all tube preamp. It's got impulse responses built into it, which is awesome. It's got two channels. They're exactly the same. This is based off of the Dirty Shirley preamp, which I love. It's more of a vintage Marshall-esque, Marshall, dare I say. It's got two channels, a boost, your basic 3-band EQ, gain, volume, what am I looking at? And then it's got two separate gain controls for the boost on the side. So as far as practicality goes, this thing's fantastic. And you can see how big it is. I mean, I don't have the biggest hands in the world, but it's 2 hands big, so to speak. But I've had this for a while. I've used it at shows, and man, it can kind of do whatever you need it to do. So I just wanted to come on here, talk about it a little bit, but I also wanted to show off some sounds. I'm not going to take through maybe 100% of what this thing can do, but I want to at least just play some of my favorite sounds and show it off. But yeah, I think in the modern era for digital convenience, I don't think there's anything better than this option right here. Now, Friedman does make a couple. They make the IRX, which is based off the BE100. It's a little more high gain. They also have the Jakey Lee version, which is also gain, or as the name would probably imply, it's based off of the Jakey Lee model amp. But I like the vintage sound, so I went with this one. So yeah, I'll play some sounds, see how you like it, and I'll just try to get some more shots and showing off the front panel as well. So yeah, hope you enjoy. So back at the fort now, I got the IRD all hooked up. I got 1/4-inch output going straight into Logic. I'm using a Scarlett interface, the 2i2, the one that everybody has, and then straight into Logic. I'm not doing any post-processing, no EQ, no compression. I might give it a little bit of reverb just for space, because when you don't have reverb, I mean, it sounds super dry. Taking a look at the front panel, I've got it right here. So we've got your volume, treble, middle, bass, pretty standard.
and a gain control, and then your boost volume. So the way I think about it is you have two separate volume controls. When you hit the boost, it'll just cycle between the two. So you always want to make sure your boost volume is slightly higher than your standard master volume, so you actually get the boost. On the side of it, you'll have separate gain controls, which will, if you want, like if you're not using an overdrive pedal and you want it to act like an overdrive pedal, you can use the gain on the side to kind of set it. I don't keep it super high. I don't like a lot of gain anyway. So I just keep it on the low side. But, and then other than that, we got a couple switches. We got a bright switch, which depends on the guitar, I guess. If I'm using humbuckers, maybe I want to use it. Single coils, I'll keep it off, but I don't know. It's like a case-by-case scenario that I'll actually use it. And then you get a 3-position gain structure switch. So when it's in the middle, it's the lowest. Bottom, like that, it's medium gain. And then up on top, it's full out, as much gain as you can give it. And then over here, you have your IR selector. It'll come with 3 stock. I can't remember what they are. I'll put them up on the screen afterwards. But you can actually load your own IRs into it, which is pretty sick. And then you have 2 channels. I'm not going to demo the 2 channels, only because they're exactly the same. They're just duplicates of the same circuit, which is cool. Yeah, so I'll take it through. I don't think I'm going to play necessarily every single sound that I think this thing can do. I'm just going to make my favorite sounds and maybe talk about it a little bit. But yeah. Hopefully you enjoy. Okay, so starting out, I got the middle select, so the lowest amount of gain. I just got like a slight amount of grit on it, so it's not totally clean. But you'll see I'll ride the volume knob quite a bit because it reacts super well to volume controls. And then guitar-wise, PRS Custom 24, Jim Wagner, Godwoods, I think. I can't remember. Anyway, here we go. go into the other game mode now too. Hopefully you can hear it. I try to pick light and play with the volume knob because I don't know if it comes through on video as well as it'll do it on purpose, but it just feels really good. Comparing it to like Kemper's and Axe Effects and all that stuff, like this is absolutely more fun to play. Like I feel maybe it's like spiritual and I sound like a crazy person when I say this, but like you do feel more connected to the thing than you do with a digital product. I think a digital product will absolutely do the job and it's not complaining about it, but this is more fun, 100%. But okay, so here's the medium gain mode. I'll mess with the EQ a little bit too. still my favorite, lower gain. Sweet.
All right, brilliant. Thank you for watching. I love. I think I probably made it clear with the other stuff too. I love the unit, man. I think it's amazing. Having owned all those other items, the Kemper, the X-Fex, all that other stuff too. I think my big issue with those is they're a lot of money for just an outrageous amount of amps, effects, options, and that's cool if that's your thing, but I'm pretty plug and play, so I don't want to just sit there and dial through menus, man. I like the tactile feel of it, and and that's cool, but I think the biggest thing, the reason why I like the IRD unit is again, if you're somebody who gets their opinion based off of specs, on paper the specs of this aren't gonna seem super appealing, I guess. Maybe one sound, 3 IRs, like, doesn't sound great, but don't let the specs fool you. You have to sit down, you really gotta play it, and you gotta enjoy it, because ultimately, like, when it comes down to gear in general, I think an underrated aspect is you buy the gear for yourself. It makes you enjoy playing, and it's a lot of fun. And I think the digital units are great. Like, I don't want to sit in there and badmouth them all the time, but I don't know, dude. I like the tactile, like the old school. Like, I just think it's a lot of fun. But on top of it too, it's practical. It's small. Doesn't take up a lot of room. And I've used it at shows before, and it's been great. It's been reliable. It's built awesome. So. Yeah, it's awesome. So I think if you get the opportunity and you're thinking about it, definitely try it, because I think you'll absolutely be satisfied when giving it a try. But thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram too. I got the Instagram plopped down below. I love talking gear, talking music. So if you want to pop by, shoot me a message. Feel totally free. But hopefully you enjoy. I'll make more videos like this soon. So if there's any gear you guys are interested out, just shoot me a message. I'll see if I can get my hands on it. And we'll take it from there, man. Thank you so much. Enjoy now.